If you run a Shopify store, returns suck. Like, honestly, no one wants to refund money that you've already counted towards your profit margins just because a customer wants to return their goods. Like, nobody likes that. But here's the thing. It's a necessary part of running your business to keep your customers happy, keep your Facebook scores good, and overall just keep the rating of your business good. So what you want to do is have a good system for processing these returns to make sure your customers stay happy, but also to maximize the amount of money that you get to keep. And I've been doing dropshipping for years now, but I never had a good system for doing returns until just recently. And I actually discovered something that works very, very well. And I'm going to be sharing it today for you guys so that you can hopefully increase the margins of your business and keep your customers more happy so they'll come back and potentially purchase things in the future even if they had to return something. So with that being said, let's get right into the solution. All right, so the typical method that's preached in dropshipping is to have your customers pay to return the shipped goods to whatever, I guess, shipping, returns, warehouse address you give them. And sometimes this might be a fake address or something that you rented, or I guess a warehouse somewhere, but most of the time you don't want to give your home address, so you're going to have to pay for an actual address. And depending on how high you scale up your business, these returns could become pretty overwhelming pretty quickly. So because of that, it's kind of difficult to run your store at a high level and handle all the returns yourself. I personally had a P.O. box for a while, and maybe I can find a picture. Yeah, I'll post a picture here of what it looks like if I can find it. But essentially, I filled up this tiny P.O. box, and they had, I don't even know, like a massive cart, probably like twice the size of a normal shopping cart, completely full of return boxes. And that is just not sustainable overall. And customers don't like this. They don't like having to pay to return their goods. You know, if they just want to return something because they changed their mind, okay, that's one thing. But if you messed up a size or there's something wrong with the order, generally speaking, they are not a fan of paying to return that. And if they have to do that, they will leave a horrible review somewhere online, and this could cost you sales in the future, or at least force you to rebrand, which takes up your time and is no fun at all. So because of this, you have to look for a better solution, and luckily I have one. Now, the one good thing about doing the returns yourself is you get to keep all the returned items, and if they're still in good shape, you can donate them and get a tax write-off. And this is what I've done in past years, which makes all the work from processing the P.O. box worth it, but it's nothing compared to the solution that I'm about to give you guys. So if you didn't know this, you can actually go onto AliExpress's website and you can go open a dispute for an order. Now, I'm sure all of you have probably done this at some point, you know, if your seller told you to do this. But what I didn't realize is that if you, instead of asking for a refund because they messed something up, if you hit return goods, it includes a free tracking number and a free shipping label, which means that your customers do not have to pay to return the goods. And I cannot emphasize how game-changing this has been for me, guys, because customers really value that they're able to return their goods and not have to pay to do that, because then it's ultimately a loss for them. But if they can completely break even on it, they are a lot happier with your brand. They're a lot more likely to speak well about your brand, and they're a lot more likely to come back and purchase something else in the future if the only reason was, you know, something tiny was wrong with their order. If they changed their mind or there was a tiny scratch or, you know, whatever. If that's the case and they were able to return their goods for free, they're very likely going to come back and buy something else off your store in the future. So if they're still on your email list, there's a good chance that you can convert them at some point in the future when you're marketing to them. On the contrary, if you had forced them to pay for shipping, they would have such a bad experience that they would never ever want to purchase from your brand again. And while this is something that normally I don't really care about because we do paid traffic in dropshipping, so we're always acquiring new customers because we're profitable on the front end, if you can keep those customers on the back end and get them to purchase again, you exponentially increase the profitability of your company because you've already paid to acquire these customers, so you might as well keep them and have them continue to purchase things from your business. The best part about this method, though, is not even the fact that customers get to return their goods for free. It's the fact that you get a full refund on the goods that you shipped out and the shipping that you had to pay for them and the tax. So that means if you paid, you know, $50 for a product on AliExpress and it had $10 shipping and $5 tax, that's $65 that you get refunded, which then you can use to refund the customer. So if you charge $150, that's a third of the refund right there that you just got back and you don't have to eat up. which is really helpful because if you return it to a PO box, you are paying for that whole refund and it's completely taken out of your profit margins. But at least if you return it and then you get part of your, I guess you get your COGS return, your cost of goods sold, that means that you don't lose as much from your profit margins, so those returns don't hurt as bad. You're more likely to give them out to customers because you're not as worried about them and your customers are gonna be more happy. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's the return process. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Hopefully this can help you to increase your customer retention rate, increase the profit, and reduce the amount of money that you lose from doing returns, because there's probably gonna be some returns during this Black Friday, Christmas shopping season. So anyways, hopefully it was helpful. If it was, smash that like button down below, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. I think that's about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, let's grow better together.
Preguntar, bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.